Out of all of the different supports I have tried to turn into DPSs on this account, there is one character that for some reason has just never even crossed my mind, even though he can do a pretty decent amount of damage sometimes, and that is our lovely boy Bennett here. I have no clue why this didn't come to mind to build a DPS Bennett, but I got a comment on the last supports only video asking for this. So just for you, here you go. We are going to be building DPS Bennett today. Now I have no idea where to even start with teams. So let's not start with that. Let's start with your build. Now, for all this, I should probably get it leveled up a bit more to be fair, because it is kind of low. And I will probably do your normal attack because I imagine we're probably going to be using his normal attack a little bit. I should probably figure out what I want to do with him before I start building him, but I can't be bothered doing that. So let's just go mess around with stuff and see what we can do. So the first thing I can think of is just going for like the most insane buffing characters we have, and then just throwing Bennett on Mistsplitter with probably, he is C6, we could do normal attacks, but probably focusing on his single target burst damage. Or we put him on Marichose. That could probably work. I don't have any leveled up pieces. Why do we not have any pyro damage stuff? Okay, well I guess that'll have to do. So there we go, Marichose on Mistsplitter, and he has 27 to 205. That 27 will go up to 57. That's probably a bit low. Why is your feather not leveled up? That might help us a little bit. Well, you know what I could do? Seeing as we have 10 of the Sanctifying Elixirs, I could probably just get a decent pyro damage goblet. And in terms of the set, I'd want it on... I mean, I could get a Crimson one. That'd be kind of nice. Because there's no other pyro-specific sets, I don't believe. Go pyro, crit rate, crit damage. Yeah, why not? Might not be the smartest choice, but boom. Ooh. That's not bad, actually. We literally have no pyro damage goblets for this account, so I will just take whatever I can get. Please just hit crits. Thank you. Crit rate. Good. More crit rate. Okay, sure. Whatever. I'll take it. It's good. We do need more crit rate. And crit damage. Okay. Not the worst piece in the world. So that now puts him up to 38 to 217. And that 38 goes up to... I know it's above 70%, I think, which is fine. That's good. 1800 attack. 217 crit damage. Bit of VR. Not the worst thing ever. So now we just need to deal with talents, which could be a little bit tricky. So we're going to start with his normal attack. We're going to get that one up to level, I'm going to say at least 7. And then I want to get his burst up to 12. If I can get enough of these, which I probably can't. I'd like to get both of these up to level 8, but I think I might just focus on getting his burst up to level 12. So let's go do a few runs in here. Well, there we go. I have gone and run all of the talents I can do today. So I don't need any of the blues, I don't think. Which means we're just going to put everything into the golds and see what we can do. I do not imagine this is going to be 12 golds. Yeah, it's not. However, we do have enough to get one of these up to the next level. And just from doing that little quick few runs there, I saw some pretty crazy damage. So I'm going to do his skill. But yeah, no, while I was running that, I saw some actually insane damage from Bennett. 22,000 from Bennett there. That's a little taster as to what we're going to see from him. That was with no buffs, just vaporize. So we're going to go for Rena into... I should have used Kazuha first because I need Pyro Swirl. Pyro Swirl. Then we do Shalonen. I'm going to need to redo all this because I screwed it up. Okay, let's try this again. Bennett into Pyro Swirl. Then we're going to get Farina, please. Farina Burst. Thank you. And then we do Shalonen Burst. We do this. Boom, boom. Skill Burst. It didn't crit. What do you mean? 64,000 there from the skill, though. Not bad. Another 64,000. We're seeing 10,000s from the normal attacks. You know what? I kind of want to try this back with Raiden because it seemed like we were doing more damage with Raiden on the team. At least when I ran it in the domain, which, yes, does have a pyro buff, but we were doing substantially more damage than what we just did. So let me try Raiden. So we're going to do Raiden skill into that, into this. I'm going to do that. Where the hell is Masanori gone? Burst. Skill. 17,000, 13,000, 64. Okay. I mean, we still saw 64,000. I didn't think his burst crit because I didn't see it. But that domain must have an incredible pyro buff because Jesus Christ. From what I saw in that domain, we hit, I think, 100,000 with Bennett on his skill. And I mean, we're getting 64,000 here, which is not bad. But That pyro buff must be pretty big in that domain. Wait for hydro burst. That did 100,000. There we go. And 64,000 again from the skill. That's actually a relatively good team. He does doing like 10 to 17,000 off the pyro infused normal attacks. Not bad, I will say. But now, because I need to prove my point, we're going to go back to this domain. Now, what is the... Oh, okay. 75% pyro damage bonus. That's probably why we're doing so much more damage in this domain. We're going to do Bennett and then burst. There we go. 180,000. That's what I wanted to see. And then if we get his skill, which I doubt we'll be able to get in time. But there we go. 109,000. Yeah, that's quite a lot of damage. And I'm assuming we're doing so much more damage because of the fact that it has a 75% pyro damage buff in this domain. Now we can actually get back into damage we'll be seeing in the overworld, and we can try out some different teams. So the next one, I want to try out the Seat Lali team. We're going to put in Seat Lali. We're going to put in, I don't know, probably Kazu for swirling, because that's always good. See, like if this was a Mawika Seat Lali team, we'd just use Bennett. But Bennett's the DPS here, so I need someone else. I mean, I guess I could just use Shalonen. That'd work. So we do this, we do that, we do this, we do this stuff, and we do boom. I'm not seeing anything. Okay, let's try this again. Please don't block stupid Masanori. 137,000. Ooh. Ho, okay. That definitely is doing more damage. I don't think it's the most like damage per second team. This is definitely more a damage per screenshot team. The Farina one definitely did more damage as a whole team, but that's because Farina was on it. Okay, well those are the obvious ones, the Melt teams and the Vaporize teams. Let's think of some less obvious teams I can try him out with. I could probably do an Overload team. That could maybe work. It'd be a little bit on the scuffed side, but if we run maybe that, I don't really expect this to do more damage, but it could be a decent team to try out. We will be heavily relying on Bennett just doing normal attacks though. This will definitely be a damage per second team, not a screenshot team. And I only really have Kujo Sara here for extra electro. I just don't really have any other good characters I could run. And Chevrus, I believe, needs just pyro and electro characters for her buff. So yeah, we're gonna see what this does. So Raiden, we want to do an overload reaction to then use Chevrus. I guess we'll put out Kujo Sara and then we do Bennett burst and then just normal attacks and damage. 39,000 on the skill, 14,000 normal attacks. Yeah, nothing crazy. 30,000, 9,000s. We're getting like 30,000s off the skill, which is pretty good. And considering Bennett has a very low cooldown on his skill, it's actually not terrible. Definitely not the biggest DPS team, but then if I wanted, I could just do one of these. Boom, boom, Bennett, and then just bap, and just do 140,000 with Raiden and just make Raiden the DPS. And it works just the same because we have Chevrus or Noblesse, so we're not missing out on Bennett's Noblesse buff. So we just have two DPSs on the same team. Honestly, not bad. And now before I go any further, I don't know if I have any other teams I want to try out, but I might get a bit creative. But I did remember something I want to do for this video, and that was try to pull for Yehoda, because she is in fact a support character, and I would like to get all said support characters. I'm still a bit on the fence about Durin, because if we look at Durin, I only count the skill and the burst as supportive stuff. If we look at the skill, when we press the skill, we either press his normal attack to go into the Denial of Darkness thing, that just deals pyro damage, and then if we tap his skill again, we do less pyro damage, that puts him into the Confirmation of Purity state. If we are in the Confirmation of Purity, so the light mode, he will deal a bit of pyro damage, and then he will deal AoE pyro damage to nearby enemies. There is no supportive buffing there. If we use the Denial of Darkness, there is even less supportive buffing, because we use his burst, we do the same amount of pyro damage, and then instead of having an AoE thing, we get a single target pyro damage that follows the character around. Where all his supportive stuff comes in is this stuff, the passive talents. And as per my rules, I don't count any supportive abilities in the passive talents, because then you can start considering people that are obviously DPSs to be supports. So Durin for me is sitting in the same category as like Venti, where yes, you can sort of call him a support, but I consider him more of a sub DPS. Same goes for people like Albedo. And I can't think of anyone else, but anyone else who has a similar sort of situation. I don't count any of them. So I will not be pulling for Durin, but I would like to get Yehoda, which is always not the greatest thing to try to pull for a 4-star, but we are only at like 8 pities, so fingers crossed we just don't see a 5-star. And we get a Yehoda right off the bat, so then I don't need to try to risk any more pulls. She heals in her burst, which is why I consider her a support. You already C6, so I don't really care. Oh my god, Farazan, go away. Well, that means this is a good sign because 2 Farazans means we're going to follow it up with another animo character and get Yehoda. Watch this Yehoda right here. Oh, for God's sakes. I'm not liking this one bit. So what pity does that bring us to? That brings us to 39 pity. We will risk one more 10 pull. Probably stupid, but we're going to risk it. One more 10 pull. For the love of everything, please give me Yehoda. This is guaranteed to be a character because we've got a weapon last. So please just give me Yehoda. Oh, thank God. That is incredible. I don't need to try to risk any more pulls. There is Yehoda. Now I don't know if I will build her now or later or what. I would like to build her, but I probably will do that on my main account because I have more characters to work with for animo DPSs. But for now, we do have a Yehoda, so I can work on her. When I do my massive videos leveling up all the other characters, we're just going to add her to the list, so I'll have to level her up at some point as well. Deal with her talents and all that good stuff. But that now means we are not missing any of the 4-star supports. We are just missing, I believe, a Nefer and Xian Yun. So, with a little pulling intermission out of the way, let's get back to our DPS Bennett. And now I'm going to try to think of some creative teams I can do with him, which to be honest, I can't think of many. I mean, I could possibly do a Burgeon team with like Xingqiu, Nahida, and Lauma. I think Burgeon is still a attack scaling reaction. I could be wrong about that, but I don't think it scales on EM as much as like Bloom and Hyper Bloom and stuff. So, I mean, we can try this. It's a bit of a creative one. I need Bennett's burst though. There we go. Boom. Does 80,000. And I'm not seeing any numbers because everything just kind of disappeared, which is generally a pretty good sign. But now with most of our bursts up, let's try this again. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. I need Nahida. Thank you very much. We're going to do Xingqiu. And then when he stops blocking, he will never stop blocking. Bennett, what do we see? I'm seeing Pyro. Was that 30,000? Ooh, that's not bad. He's blocking everything, which really sucks. But I think I saw a 30,000 there. That's not actually that bad. Everyone's dying. Oh my god, everyone really is dying. We're gonna leave. Well, DPS Bennett is really doing good stuff at the moment. We got really good single target damage with the Seatlali team. Really good like overall damage with the Farina Vaporize team. With a more interesting Burgeon team. Still doing some pretty decent damage. I think so like 80,000 from his burst. And then like 30,000 Burgeons or something like that. Actually not that bad. It's pretty good out of this DPS Bennett. And then there was also the Overload team, which wasn't insane, but it did decently well. And aside from that, I can't really think of anything else. Is there any other reactions I can think of, like, you know, swirls or whatever, would kind of rely on Bennett being off-field. It's like a buffer, not actually swirling, because most swirl-based characters need to be on-field to do all their swirling stuff. And anything else he's sort of off-field for as well. But I mean, for the DPS stuff, that's actually pretty good. There could be some more teams I haven't tried out or things I just forgot about. So if you have any ideas, do let me know in the comments. And honestly, I'm pretty happy with where he is right now. I'm probably just going to leave him on this build. Marichose worked really, really well. I could try out some different sets, but honestly, with how well Marichose did, I don't think I even want to bother. I could have tried like Deepwood or Gilded for the Burgeon team. But once again, I believe those teams don't need a bunch of EMs, so Marichose worked fine enough, obviously, because we were doing 30,000 Burgeons. So yeah, with that, that is where I'm going to leave it off. So I hope you guys did enjoy. If you liked this video, do go check out the Raiden Overload build I did a while ago on this account. And with that being said, I will see you all in the next one. Good. Bye.